The video begins in a school where paranormal events suddenly take place. Lights flicker, and darkness spreads as a sinister spirit begins to manifest. The students panic and flee from the evil presence, but two of them decide to confront it. Our female protagonist, Beyonce, comes from a family of shamans, while our male lead, Diddy, is the top student at the prestigious Northern High School. Together, they try to face the evil spirit, but their combined strength proves insufficient, and they are both overpowered. As Beyonce lies on the ground, she recalls how her journey began 10 years earlier. We flash back to see her grandmother, also a powerful shaman, attempting to stop an evil spirit that had possessed a student, Jay-Z, and was leading him to the roof of a tall building to end his life. Though her grandmother hurries to save him, she is too old to make it up the stairs quickly enough. While she had once been strong, she is now physically and spiritually weakened. As she pauses to catch her breath, she has a vision of her own impending death. Beyonce is still a child at the time, and her grandmother asks for her help to save Jay-Z. She explains that the evil spirit preys on students who struggle academically, driving them to their deaths. Despite Beyonce's efforts to exorcise the spirit from Jay-Z, the spirit mocks her attempts. It taunts her, promising they will meet again, before forcing Jay-Z to jump from the building, resulting in his death. Devastated by the tragedy, young Beyonce weeps and vows to distance herself from the shaman's life. Meanwhile, the evil spirit leaves Jay-Z's body after his death, but before it can escape, Beyonce's grandmother seals it away with a powerful spell. The spirit warns that this won't be the end, and that it will return. Just then, her grandmother is attacked by a mysterious figure wielding a knife. Gravely injured, her grandmother is unable to protect the sealed spirit, which is stolen by the attacker. Beyonce finds her grandmother too late, and the old woman dies from her injuries. Before passing, she urges Beyonce to stay safe until she turns 18, at which point she will be strong enough to fight the spirit. In the next scene, we see Beyonce as a high school student about to start at a new school. She visits her grandmother's grave to seek blessings. Having inherited her shamanic abilities, Beyonce can see spirits, though she hides this from her mother because she desires a normal life. Her mother, however, also possesses shamanic powers and knows that Beyonce can see ghosts. Beyonce begins attending Northern High, the most prestigious school in the city, known for its high-achieving students. She was able to get in thanks to her mother's client, the wife of the school's vice principal, who is concerned about her son, Diddy, the school's top student. Diddy's mother is worried about rumors of an evil spirit that haunts students with poor grades and wants to protect her son. Though Diddy has always excelled academically, his mother takes no chances, hiring Beyonce's mother to ensure her son's safety and sponsoring Beyonce's education at the school. On Beyonce's first day, the results of the latest exam are announced, and as expected, Diddy is ranked first. Suddenly, the student ranked last leaps from the school's rooftop and dies under mysterious circumstances. Though the boy was mentally strong and had a good relationship with his parents, the school tries to cover up his death, blaming it on academic pressure and family issues to protect its reputation. As the story continues, we see Beyonce trying to distance herself from the world of shamans and the evil spirit. When she returns home, her mother asks if anything unusual happened. Beyonce recalls how she was teased by other students for coming from a family of shamans, but keeps quiet about it. In a time where shamans were often seen as deceivers and frauds, Beyonce plans to conceal her family's shamanic background at her new school. She once again lies to her mother, claiming she can't see any spirits. When she retreats to her room, Jay-Z's spirit lingers nearby. He longs to see his mother before passing on, but after becoming a ghost, he has forgotten her face. Beyonce is the only one who knows what his mother looks like, so Jay-Z stays close to her. Meanwhile, Beyonce's mother has gained control over Jay-Z's spirit, using him to scam people for money. However, Beyonce has no interest in saving anyone. The next day, Beyonce's classmates attempt to bully her for being the new transfer student. Diddy approaches her, having been told by his mom to befriend the shaman girl, which only intensifies the bullying. Beyonce recalls her grandmother's words about how her 18th year would be challenging and decides to leave the classroom. Suddenly, Diddy hugs her as she's about to leave, asking her to stay. Beyonce quickly realizes it's not Diddy, but her grandmother's spirit inside him. Granny urges her to remain and face the evil spirit that has returned after 10 years and is haunting the school. Beyonce chooses to stay and speaks to her grandmother outside. Meanwhile, their classmates see the hug between Diddy and Beyonce and start gossiping, assuming they have feelings for each other. Cassie, one of their classmates, who has a crush on Diddy, becomes jealous. Just then, the evil spirit attacks, knocking out both Diddy and Beyoncé. Afterward, the evil spirit targets the principal, who manages to trap it in some beads. Later, when Diddy wakes up in the infirmary, he suddenly gains the ability to see ghosts. Panicked, he blames Beyoncé for this new ability, but she brushes off Jay-Z's ghost with a pillow, insisting she has nothing to do with it. When Beyoncé gets home, she angrily confronts Jay-Z for causing her trouble, but he teases her, questioning whether she's starting to develop feelings for Diddy. Meanwhile, Diddy starts seeing ghosts at home, which terrifies him. He tells his best friend Justin, but Justin doesn't believe him. Desperate, Diddy goes to Beyoncé's house and begs her to return him to normal, offering her money to stop him from seeing spirits. Annoyed, Beyoncé tells him that seeing only a few ghosts is nothing compared to her experiences. Diddy doesn't believe her, so she uses her powers to make him see even more spirits, causing him to run home even more scared. On his way home, Diddy is surrounded by curious ghosts on the bus. The next day, Diddy doesn't show up at school, and Cassie blames Beyoncé for his absence. Later, Beyoncé returns home to find Diddy's mother asking her own mother to check on Diddy, as he's been acting strange. Beyoncé and her mother go to Diddy's house, where Beyoncé removes all the spirits in his room, allowing Diddy to finally relax. Afterward, he becomes friends with Beyoncé. In the following scene, Beyoncé's mother recalls a conversation with Granny's spirit. Granny had instructed her to send Beyoncé to Northern High to confront the evil spirit and mentioned that someone from the school would help her. Later, Diddy takes Beyoncé to meet his best friend Justin at his small restaurant. Justin's parents ran the place before they passed away, and Diddy worries about Justin, who struggles academically. With an upcoming test, Diddy tries to help Justin by preparing him for the exam. Meanwhile, Beyoncé can see Justin's parents' spirits still lingering, concerned for their son. They explain the circumstances of their deaths and their hopes for Justin's future. Afterward, Diddy drops Beyoncé off at her house, and they talk about spirits. As they stand at the door, Diddy hugs her again, explaining that the last time he hugged her, he couldn't feel anything because her grandmother's spirit had been inside him. This time, he wants to know what it really feels like. Embarrassed, Beyoncé pushes him away, not realizing Diddy now has a clear crush on her. Later, despite all of Diddy's efforts to tutor him, Justin performs poorly in the test. This makes him a potential target for the evil spirit, and Diddy grows increasingly worried about him. Meanwhile, Cassie discovers that Beyoncé comes from a family of shamans. She threatens Beyoncé to stay away from Diddy, or she exposes her secret to the entire class. Left with no other option, Beyoncé starts avoiding Diddy. However, one night, Diddy visits her, ignoring Cassie, because he desperately needs her help. He has been hearing the stories of the ghosts he can now see, learning that many were victims of an evil spirit. Diddy worries that if Justin fails, his life may be in danger, and he asks for Beyoncé's assistance. Despite his pleas, Beyoncé refuses, not wanting to get involved with ghosts. The next day, Beyoncé walks into class, where her classmates mock her for being a shaman. Meanwhile, Justin finished last in the test, and a frustrated Diddy scolds him for not completing the questions he was taught. At the same time, the school principal releases the evil spirit. It attacks Justin, but just as he's about to be hurt, Beyoncé steps in to protect him. However, the spirit overpowers her, forcing Diddy and Justin to flee. They soon encounter the evil spirit again, now possessing a strong man who beats both of them and tries to kill Justin. Beyoncé returns for a second round, this time with the spirits that Diddy had encountered. They all join forces, fighting the evil spirit to save Justin. After rescuing him, they bring him to Beyoncé's home, where they explain the situation. At first, Justin doesn't believe them, but when Beyoncé mentions seeing his father's spirit, he is convinced. He grows emotional hearing about his father's words, and while Beyoncé's mother comforts Justin, Beyoncé and Diddy head outside to discuss how to defeat the evil spirit. Suddenly, Diddy's mom arrives, having seen a video of him acting strangely earlier. She blames Beyoncé and her mother, slapping Beyoncé's mom and taking Diddy away, furious. Later, Justin goes back to his restaurant, where the evil spirit takes over his body. Feeling this, Beyoncé and Diddy rush to the school to save him again, but the spirit fights them off and jumps from the school building. Although Justin's spirit leaves his body, he's not dead yet. With Jay-Z's help, they keep Justin alive until he receives emergency treatment at the hospital. Meanwhile, another student, Jennifer, becomes scared because she ranked just above Justin and knows she'll be last in the next test. Beyoncé and Diddy prepare to save her as well. Their homeroom teacher, wanting to stop the deaths, asks the principal to delay the next test. But the principal, revealed to be the one releasing the spirits, becomes furious at the suggestion. Jay-Z remembers seeing the principal take the spirit bag from Beyoncé's granny 10 years ago, but due to his poor memory, he can't recall the face clearly. He only manages to warn Beyoncé that someone at the school is controlling the evil spirit. Diddy then has a vision of those killed by the evil spirit, and among them, he sees Beyoncé, causing him great concern. He tells her everything. That night, the homeroom teacher, along with Beyoncé and Diddy, investigate the school and discover a secret room in the basement. Inside, they find the spirits of the students killed by the evil spirit, trapped in an endless loop of studying. Beyoncé tries to free them, but the evil spirit takes over the teacher's body and knocks them all unconscious. Jay-Z arrives to help, but the evil spirit attacks and completely destroys him. Heartbroken by Jay-Z's disappearance, knowing he'll never reunite with his mother, Beyoncé becomes more determined than ever to stop the evil spirit. Diddy comforts and encourages her, and through the challenges they face together, they grow closer, eventually sharing a romantic kiss. During the next test, Beyoncé decides to switch her test paper with Jennifer's so she can rank last and confront the evil spirit herself. However, before she can act, Diddy ruins her plan by informing the teacher. This upsets Beyoncé, and she thinks Diddy is being selfish. But in reality, Diddy purposely marked all his answers wrong in the test because he feared for Beyoncé's life after the vision he had. He wanted to protect her by sacrificing himself. When the results are announced, Diddy ranks last, leaving everyone in shock. The school principal becomes furious, especially since his top student has now ranked last. He tries to stop the spirit from attacking Diddy, not wanting to lose his best student, but the evil spirit has grown too powerful and breaks free from the spirit bag. Next, we see Diddy and Beyoncé preparing to face the evil spirit. Cassie and Jennifer join them, and the four students confront the spirit. However, they are easily overpowered and thrown aside. The story then circles back to the beginning, showing what happens after Diddy and Beyoncé are knocked down. The principal arrives, blaming Beyoncé for everything, accusing her of causing the near death of his school's top student. He attempts to attack her, but Diddy intervenes and saves her. In the struggle, the principal loses his balance, falls down the stairs, and sustains fatal injuries. Before dying, the principal reveals his reasons for making a pact with the evil spirit years ago. Northern High was not prestigious, and its students scored poorly. He faced constant criticism from parents and ridicule from colleagues. Then, he learned about a spirit that attacks students who scored low. After extensive research, he found the evil spirit and made a deal. He would kill Granny in exchange for making the school famous. The spirit had been under his control since then, attacking the lowest-ranking student, which pushed the other students to improve their scores. This eventually made Northern High a prestigious institution. As he dies, the principal regrets his decision and asks for forgiveness. He also gives them the pouch Granny had used to trap the evil spirits. Diddy and Beyoncé gear up for their final battle, gathering all the equipment Granny once used to fight evil spirits. They head to the school terrace, where they find that the evil spirit has possessed Cassie, who is about to jump. Diddy manages to save Cassie, but gets possessed in the process. Beyoncé saves him by chanting a spell. Together, they gather their resources and attack the evil spirit, but it remains too strong for them. Luckily, Granny's spirit arrives to assist them. After a long, intense fight, they manage to trap the evil spirit back in the bag. Beyoncé then uses Granny's special axe to destroy the bag, eliminating the evil spirit completely. Granny's spirit blesses Beyoncé and Diddy before disappearing. With the evil spirit gone, all the students whose spirits were trapped in the school are finally set free. Jay-Z is reunited with his mother and departs from the world, and Justin recovers from his injuries, vowing to take his studies seriously after returning from the hospital. A few years later, Diddy confesses his love for Beyoncé. As a top student, Diddy could get into any college or job he desires, but he chooses to stay with Beyoncé and help lost spirits find peace. And so, the story ends on a happy note. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, then you can see another videos. Goodbye.